Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my technical Minecraft Let's Play. So, I'm where we left off in the previous episode, that is the triple ice farm. So as you can see, it looks quite nice from a higher point of view, and it's finally stopped raining / snowing. Okay, so what I've done in the previous episode is I've just gathered some experience because I'm recording right after it, and I repaired the pickaxe so that I now have a fully repaired silk touch pickaxe and 2 endermen spawned here, which is something I need to discuss. I will need to... yeah, loud. Okay, I will need to replace all the blocks with slabs, because mobs can actually spawn in here and I can't put lighting due to the ice, because that would end up melting it. So that's a minor mistake that I will have to fix, but the farms work super great, and the fact that you can just insta-mine it is so nice. And I can just get a mass amounts of ice like this, which I will need for the nether paths. Oh, he's trapped back there. Okay, yeah, so in today's episode I will be building a zombie XP farm, which is at the witch farm area, and I've done 2 episodes there, and I guess I'll do another one. And I'm doing this because I don't really have time at the moment to make like a big farm that will take a lot of time for me to build. So I'm going to do a bunch of small farms, and hopefully the videos end up good, despite not me putting as much work into them as I would like. Okay, so let me get to the witch farm and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm on top of the witch farm, as I said I'll be, and before I actually went here I stopped at the enderman farm where I gathered some ender pearls, and I actually went to the squid farm to get items that I will not need. So that's always good, you know, spending a lot of time for something you don't really need. But hey, it's too late now. So the zombie spawn I chose is this one here. There is one down there, but it's underwater and I don't feel like dealing with all the water. So this is an XP farm, which means I will flush the zombies into mob elevators and then collect all of them in one block, where they will fall a certain amount of blocks so that they are 2 hits away from dying, because the zombies, they can't actually be 1 hit away from death, since if you lower it by 1 more block they actually die. So that means I'll be using my sword, and because of the new Minecraft 1.9 combat changes, I'll actually kill them all with 1 hit, which is always good. So now what I'll have to do is actually mark out the area at which the zombies can spawn, and then I can get to work. Okay, so I've removed the walls, and this should be the spawning area. It is 4 blocks on each side, which is good. And now what I'll have to do is dig 3 blocks down. And yes, I am using my silk touch pick because I do not have any other. And I will eventually solve that problem during the 2 weeks that I won't have the opportunity to record. I will have time to actually play Minecraft, so I'll do some grindy parts that I can't really put into the episode but are crucial for the progress, which is mining, gathering diamonds, working on the squid farm, and so on. So yeah, now let me dig this area out and then I'll be back. Okay, so I dug out the 3 blocks below it. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, I dug out the 3 blocks below the spawner. It didn't really take that long. And now what I'll have to do is actually make the mob elevators. So I will use the same design that I used in the multiplayer series that ended at like episode 3 or 4, I believe. And yeah, the cause for that was that school started for me, so I didn't have as much time to actually record, and then shortly after the server closed down. Now I don't really know if there's like a new server there. I never really did much research on it, but that's besides the point. The spawner that I used there, all I did was I placed the water source block down here, causing the zombies to get flooded into the corners, and then elevated up. But that did have a flaw, and that was if the zombie spawned on these 4 blocks, he would get flushed here. And I solved that solution by just placing cactus on each side, making the zombies take damage from it and eventually dying. But you know, that lowered the efficiency of it, so what I'll do this time is just connect the zombies that come here to one of the mob elevators, and hopefully that should be good. So let me dig out some area and figure out how I will connect the zombies to the 4 item elevators, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I figured out how to connect the zombies that come here to one of the mob elevators, and I've done this on all 4 sides. As you can see, it's symmetrical on each side, and all I did was just drop them down 2 blocks here, and then the water will push them here. There's a sign here to prevent water from flowing down and stopping the stream here, and the same for this one. So there can be a solid block here because the zombies then can't swim up, which would just end in them no, they would just get trapped there. Yeah, so then they swim up here and they get collected without the other zombies. So if you do this before the water, this is what happens. It only flows like this, so you have to patch it up here. You have to patch these parts up, then let the water flow, and then you can remove it as soon as the water is at each corner. Okay, that block was... yeah, as you can see, the water now went to all the blocks where it's required, and now I can build the mob elevator. So let me do that, and then I'll be back. And the first mob elevator is now built. I don't know why, but this one apparently doesn't get any zombies coming through it, which is really odd. It should be like 25% distribution on all of them, because there's 4 of them. But this one has the most zombies, that's why it actually... wow, that's bad. That's why it actually has a zombie in here. On the others, the zombies burn to death because, or they jump out of the water, they catch fire, and they keep repeating that until they eventually die. So now I have to get 3 more of them built, and then I can make the drop shaft. There we go, the 4 mob elevators are now built, and now what I have to do is actually put 1 more bucket of water in each of them so that the water flows to that point, but I will first have to put in some walls to maintain the water and make it flow where I want it to flow. So let me do that, and then I'll be back. There we go, the 4 mob elevators are now connected, and from the couple zombies that have already fell down, I can say it actually works. So now what I'll have to do is actually make the drop shaft so that they all land on this block. And I will make it so that if I only want the rotten flesh for some reason, that the piston retracts the block, making them die from fall damage. And if I want the XP, as you can see, they die in 2 hits, which with the sword, yeah, it should kill all of them with 1 hit. So let me make the drop shaft, and then I'll be back. Okay, so the drop shaft is now built, and as you can see, zombies are already collecting here, and I can start killing them. So some of them are 3 hits, some of them are 2 hits, it doesn't really matter because I'm using a sword. And once like 70 of them